Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Cobra Kai Studios. I am your host, Daniel-san, and this is going to be a second time filming this video because apparently I made yesterday's too long. Apparently 48 minutes is just too long of a video for my processing software to get it to upload. So, we're going to revise this video. It was going to be top 10 worst fighters as well as top 10 best fighters all in one video. So now I'm going to shorten it. What we're going to do is we're going to do my top 10 ranking from worst to best fighters. So, that's how we're going to do this video. And we're going to start off with the worst fighters, which, this is only 10 of them, so we kind of had to just fit in Cobra Kai casts. There's not really any of the Karate Kid casts. We're going to make that a separate video. So, that'll be like, top 10 worst to best Karate Kid fighters. But, we're going to start off with number 10, and I'm sure many of you would agree, Dimitri. And there's many reasons why I chose him for number 10. Obviously, he's starting to get better at fighting, yes. But at the same time, it took a long time for him to get anywhere in the show. So, he's going to have to be number 10 for me. That's just, And plus, he's just not one of my favorite cast members as far as fighting-wise goes. Because he's, I don't know. He's kind of scared to do anything, it seems like. But he seems to be breaking out of his shell. So maybe we'll get a little more from Dimitri as we go. But I'm sure many of you agree and don't care to see what happens with him or not. So we'll move on to number 9. Number 9 is going to be Aisha, which, yeah, she's a good fighter. At the same time, though, she's not really seen doing too much, and she's not really like a main cast member. She's like a side main cast member of the show, and obviously she's not going to be in Season 3 moving forward, so we're not going to see her anymore. So I felt like she deserved to be number 9. Now, my ranking system here is not just exactly on their fighting skills, but their personality, the overall, mentality state that they have towards people in the show. And that's why I'd rank her number 9. But, I want to know your rankings of these 10 members I'm going to mention. I want to know how you would rank them compared to how I rank them. Number 8, now, you're going to probably disagree with me on this one. Number 8 for me is Kreese. I don't like Kreese. I don't like the way he's crooked. I don't like his crooked fighting. Now, honestly, he could have been number 10, but I just felt like Dimitri had to be number 10 in this situation, and I'm sure you guys could agree. But Kreese, I had to put in number 8 more towards the worst fighters, because he's not a good fighter. I mean, yeah, he knows how to fight, he can fight, but he's crooked, and he'll take things way too far. Now, yeah, he does make some points that in a real-world fight, there are no rules, Someone could come at you with a knife, a gun, and there's no one to be like a referee and be like, oh, that's illegal, you know what I mean? So I get it. I get some of his training points, but at the same time, he goes about it in such a bad way that he's going to be number 8 on my list because, yeah, he's in the worst fighter section of it. But, maybe you feel different. Maybe you would put him in the top 5, which is the better fighters. But, I don't know. Maybe you'd put him number 10. Let me know down below what you think about Kreese. Number 7, Sam. And the reason is because of how she is. And the fact that she didn't even have no interest in martial arts until later on in the show. She didn't want to get involved when, Miguel and previous other students started to actually get involved. Obviously, Robby started getting trained before she did. So, that's why I put her at number 7. I just felt like she didn't need to be in the best fighter situation. And I'm not the biggest fan of Sam. I know some people are, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody likes who they like. They rank people how they want to rank them. This is my ranking system for these 10 students. Number 6, Tori. I know, you're probably like, wait, you rank Tori better than Sam? I do. I feel like Tori is a better fighter than Sam, at least right now, which also is because I feel like Tori has been training previous to Cobra Kai, which makes her have probably a little more recent knowledge to martial arts. Yeah, Sam was trained by her dad when she was a kid, but that was a long time ago. Tori seems to have been involved in martial arts for a lot longer, and I just feel like she has a little more experience than Sam. Obviously, Sam kind of kicked her ass at the school fight, but there can be some of the world's best fighters. They still lose. Sometimes you lose, and you lose to someone you wouldn't even expect sometimes, and it's like, wow, what happened, and it's the way of the fist, way of the fighting. You can't really always expect the outcome of every match. You can be the best fighter and still get your ass kicked. It's just how it is. I've seen this personally. I've seen, our champion here in New Mexico when I was fighting. He was a champion for like 3 years straight. And he lost to a first year. Someone that no one even thought. Everybody was like, oh, this is going to be a quick match. He lost. And no one expected it. But it happens. It really does. I mean, you can make a mistake and that can cost you a fight. You know what I mean? You can slip, trip, fall right into a kick, boom, gone. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that can happen, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. But that's who I would rank number 6 is Tori. So that's our 5 worst fighters part, I guess you could say, you know, since we're talking about 10 fighters and it's worst to best. So I guess those would be the more worst fighters compared to who we're going to talk about now, which some of you wouldn't agree with me on this one, but we're going to start number 5 off with Hawk. The reason I say this is because Hawk has a lot of determination to learn. You know, he has a lot of determination to be a badass. He went from being the bullied, picked on kid to going crazy. You know what I mean? Especially when you see that little teaser clip for season 3. You know, obviously he's changed a lot. He's went from the bullied kid to basically being the bully, and now he's a badass. You know, so it is what it is, I guess you could say. What do you think? Do you feel like Hawk deserves to be in the top 5 portion of this list? Do you feel like you'd put him in the, you know, later rankings of a more worst fighter in a sense? Obviously, Hawk's basically becoming the little mini-me Kreese, but at the same time, he can fight. Now, he can't, I don't think he'd beat Miguel hands down in a fight. I don't think he'd beat Robby, but at the same time, I think he would obviously beat Dimitri if he had a better standing of an actual full fight. I think he would take Dimitri out still. Honorable mentions here would be like Kyler. I think he would beat Kyler. You know, I think there's quite a bit of people that Hawk could take down, you know, and yeah, he fought Cricket, but he learned from Kreese, so what do you expect, you know what I mean? Just my opinion. On to the number 4, which I'm going to rank as Johnny. This was hard to rank these last 4 because I didn't really know where I wanted to put him, but we're going to put Johnny at number 4. Only reason being is because I had to put him somewhere, and I didn't feel like he deserved the number 1 spot, not for the Cobra Kai portion, because the Cobra Kai is, yeah, he's the sensei, but at the same time, it's kind of more about the kids that's being trained. So I'm putting him at number 4 because obviously Johnny knows how to fight still. Johnny can still kick some ass, so he deserves to be in the top 5 best fighters, in my opinion. And that's why I'm going to put him at number 4. Number 3, I'm going to put Daniel. This one was a hard one because I almost felt like Johnny should have been number 3 maybe, because I feel like Johnny has a little more experience back in the martial arts. He got back into it before Daniel, but at the same time, Daniel's a hell of a fighter too. So I had to put him in top 5 as well. He had to be in there, obviously. Now, you might disagree with my ranking. That's perfectly fine. This isn't like a scientific ranking. This is just my personal opinion of how I would rank them, from 10 to 5 being the worst, 5 to 1 being the best. So, number 2, Robby. Now, with me stating that, I'm sure you know who my number 1 fighter is. But, anyways, Robby's actually a pretty good fighter. He's learned a lot of really good skills from Daniel, and you can see that he's progressed a lot. But now that he is rested, things might change, and our perspective of Robby might change. He himself might go through a Cobra Kai type mindset and might not be the same Robby we've seen in the previous seasons. You know, he might go back to his old ways. Who knows? You know, there's a lot that could go wrong with Robby going to jail. I mean, it could go in either way. So that one's kind of interesting. It makes me wonder what we can expect to see from him moving forward. You know, especially with once he gets out of jail. So we'll go on to my number 1 ranked fighter from Cobra Kai, Miguel. Obviously, Miguel is my favorite character, and I feel like he's progressed the most out of everybody in the show. Yeah, he got kicked over the rail by Robby, but at the same time, this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Anybody can lose. Things can happen. He showed Robby mercy, and Robby didn't accept it, and Robby kicked him when he went over the rail, you know, and now he got injured. On a good note, we know he didn't die. We don't know the extent to his injuries yet, but we do know he didn't die. So that gives us a lot of hope for Miguel moving forward. Now, he might not remain the best fighter at first because he's going to have to go through a relearning phase, I feel like. Especially if his back was broke or something, you know, he's going to have to start basically from scratch. You know, he might have to learn how to walk again. He's going to have to learn how to stretch, and he's going to have to get back into shape again. It's going to be a long road for Miguel, maybe. I mean, there's no telling really how they're going to play it out, but I feel like it's going to be something that we're going to have to wait to see Miguel be Miguel's best self again. Now, a lot of people wonder if he's going to maybe leave Cobra Kai and join Miyagi-Do, or if he's going to even want to train in martial arts. I'm sure he's going to want to train in martial arts again. I don't see him quitting that just because he got hurt. But I could see him leaving Cobra Kai, especially when he comes out of it and realizes that Johnny's no longer the sensei, because you know he was really close to Johnny. Obviously, his mom's going to have some say about this and not want him to fight, probably. You know what I mean? So, that's going to be my 10 ranked fighters, worst to best. This is obviously a way shorter video than the one I tried to make for y'all, but again, I wanted to make this video because I just enjoy making content. Whether anybody watches it or not, that's up to y'all. But thank you, everyone that's subscribed to me. Thank you, Bonsai Kai Dojo. Thank you, everyone that likes my videos and leaves comments. And we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, you better stay badass. Have a good one, everyone.